Hello, everyone. Happy Halloween. Welcome to the channel, Shelly's Millions. I see over here that C is saying they still haven't received the second Golden State stimulus and you need the money so bad. So they're, even though they call it the Golden State Stimulus 2, and if you already received the first payment of $600, you're not getting a second payment of $600 from the state of California. So if you go through your bank records, your bank statements, you'd be looking for something that says FTB, which stands for Franchise Tax Board GSS, Golden State Stimulus. The Golden State Stimulus 2 payments are going to say II for 2 or 11. I'm not sure about the Golden State Stimulus 1 because I didn't get that one. So if you got Golden State Stimulus 1, which either would say on your bank account statement FTB GSS, or it would say FTB GSS 1 or I, then you would not be expecting the second one, unfortunately. So if you got that one, you're not getting this one unless you have dependents, and then you would be getting $500. But it's not truly a second stimulus for Californians. If you got the first payment of 600, there's not a second payment. Let's go ahead and talk about the Golden State Stimulus 2 a little bit more before I jump in to talk with the rest of you. Today's October 31st. They said that this is when the rest of the direct deposits should hit. And I wasn't really thinking about it. Today is Sunday. Normally, even though everything's kind of computerized, I'm not sure if it would actually hit your bank account today. So maybe give it till tomorrow. Also, if you used a tax preparer like H&R Block or TurboTax, and you used the option to get like one of their prepaid debit cards or like an instant refund essentially, then you would be expecting a paper check, and the paper checks for the Golden State Stimulus 2 are going to be continuing to go out through January 11th of 2022. So we still have quite a bit of time before they anticipate being done getting out those physical checks for the Golden State Stimulus 2 payments. Good morning, Andrew. Your FICO score is 695 on Experian. I noticed that there's another FICO score known as an auto FICO score that's higher for some. Do people who want a new car, the auto FICO score matters? I'm going to have to look into that. I've been very mindful of my own credit score, which is pretty good. And I'm familiar with the general tips. When it comes into the specifics, I'm going to have to learn along with you guys. I know that there are 3 different credit bureaus who report, and I know that if you can get your score over 700, you're going to get lower rates. So that is something to aim for. And then, of course, you guys know that I'm always going to recommend trying a credit union. You don't need to necessarily be a member of the industry that the credit union is for in order to get an offer from a credit union, but they're going to be able to give you much lower rates than a traditional auto lender. And on that note, I know some one of you like made my day because you told me that you were able to save your car getting repossessed because you refinanced it instead. And I just wanted to mention you can refinance your car multiple times. So I'm glad that you refinanced it now, but maybe in 6 months, if your credit score does go above 700, refinance it again. There's not really any downside to that. Okay. Good morning, Debbie Hall. Thank you for saying happy Halloween, everyone. I went to my friend's house last night and it was not supposed to be a party, and then it was a party. So I put weird makeup on my face and I tried to make my hair look scary, but I don't know if it worked. Anyway, see, you're welcome. Family Dollar says, I wanted to get a loan, but I have bad credit. 530. Will I be denied? I'm in trouble financially. So let's try and figure out if you can do some side hustles to try and get you out of trouble financially. I do want to say one thing, like those payday advances, please try not to do those. It is harder to get a loan when your credit score is lower. Everybody's situation is different, so I can't specifically say if you would be denied or not. But what I can say, right, and I've been there, so I don't say this with judgment, is that you might want to look into the circumstances that are causing you to need a loan and see if there's any other way to avoid that. Do you have clothes that you can put on eBay? Are you good at organizing houses? There is a website, Fiverr, right? And whatever you're good at, if you can do it for someone else or teach someone else how to do it, you can monetize it. Can you start a side hustle to try and get the money anyway outside of a loan? Because loans are often, when you're already in trouble, sometimes it makes it worse. You know what I mean? But by all means, if you need a loan, if you can't put food on the table, if you can't pay rent, then go ahead and consider it. Um, and I hope that you get the help that you need, and I hope that you don't get denied if you're really at the point where you need a loan. But don't be nervous to get creative and find another way to try and get yourself out of financial trouble. And we'll be talking more about that on the channel. Okay, Michael says, "How am I doing?" I'm doing pretty good. Once again, a long week at work and really tired, but grateful to have a job for sure. Devon's life. Happy Halloween. Aw, thank you. Catherine saying hi before heading to church. Blessings. All right, Catherine. Have a great morning at church. Glad to see you in here. So glad. Oh shoot, I don't want to get the name of his channel wrong, but he's just wonderful. I hope that the two of you um were able to chat after my live, and that he was able to help you get that California rentals relief and rental assistance. Edward says, "Happy Halloween, trick or treat, be safe." Joel says, "What happens next year for taxes? Will there be another large tax write-off for unemployment?" Joel, this is really a good time to ask. So far, no one is talking about that. I haven't heard it mentioned in the infrastructure package, sometimes called the stimulus bill. So I think we're going to be on the line for taxes according to what I know now. So I don't think they're going to forgive the first 10,200 in taxes. So I do hope that everyone was able to have taxes withheld from our unemployment benefits. Joseph, I am single, but I don't have a lot of time, and apparently I'm grumpy. So yeah, and I'm old and kind of chunky. That's why I film, from the shoulders up. Okay. Anita says, "What kind of stimulus are we going to receive? Is it something additional?" It's not. A lot of channels are referring to it as the stimulus bill. But this new federal package is really an infrastructure package. And what they're hoping to do is create jobs, which then would stimulate the economy. Good morning, little Rambo. Vanessa, what are you Halloween? I think I will be either Diana Ross or Janet Jackson. Miss Jackson if you're nasty. I love her. I love Janet Jackson. I mean, they're both phenomenal women. Last night I put on like weird clown makeup. I followed like a tutorial. I don't know. They didn't tell us it was a Halloween party, and then I had to use my friend's makeup, but they didn't have a lot of makeup, and I had to use Q-tips to put it on. It was kind of a hot mess, actually, but but it was fun. And then tonight, since I asked for yesterday off, I will work tonight. I don't normally work on Sundays. We're usually slow at the movie theater. By the way, if you guys want to go see a movie, but you're still kind of concerned about being in like a crowded indoor environment, Halloween night is a great night to go to the movies. You'll have the place almost all to yourself. I think so. I normally wear, and this is kind of Halloween themed too, right? A little spooky shirt this morning. But I normally wear like a tank top dress, and I have an R2D2 one, and I also have like kind of like a mermaidy one. I actually wore that one for my birthday in a video. So maybe I'll make some sort of like mermaid costume. Anyway, wear something where I can wear like a turtleneck under and like black leggings. So even though it's Halloween, I'm still professional. You guys don't want like glitter and makeup and like, that kind of stuff falling into your popcorn. So I have to make sure I can still perform my job duties. But I do love Halloween, so I'll probably dress up. Ben, you're kind of shopping for a new car, but used. That's good. No way, as used cars depreciate fast. Right. You get off the lot and the value goes down. Smart move, used car. Okay, I'm going to give you a pro and a con on that, right? Okay. Yes, buy a used car. That's the pro. Yes, you're correct about cars are depreciating assets. As soon as you drive off the lot, they're not worth what you just paid for them, and they're only going to go down in value. With that said, my mom has always cautioned me, and it might be I followed in her footsteps. She is a single lady. I'm a single lady. You don't know the history of what you're getting, right, with a used car. So this has been the one probably bad piece of financial advice I might ever say out loud. She was like, just buy a new car, buy the cheapest new car on the lot, like a Toyota Yaris or like a Kia Forte or something like that. And if you're getting a brand new car and you take care of it, then there's no unknowns because the person that rents my garage to do their work from home, they bought a used car and it's worked perfectly, but like you don't know if you're going to have repairs. And there were some iffy moments like when the check engine light came on like literally the same week they bought it. So it can get a little tricky. If you know cars, certainly buy a used car because you're right about it being a depreciating asset. And usually, even if they do need a major repair, it's not going to be anywhere near what purchasing a new car is. Um, but yeah, I have not bought a used car, but I will tell you. So I followed my mom's advice when I bought my car new in 2013. I bought the cheapest one on the lot. I was going to buy a Corolla, but they only had the sport model. So the one I drove, and my car like literally wouldn't drive anymore at over my old car with over 300,000 miles on it. So I bought the cheapest car that they had on the lot, which was the Prius C. I even called to find out like how much insurance was, like while I was in the dealership, because both cars were close, right? And the insurance on the Prius C, which is the cheapest model Prius, it was going to be $10 lower a month, and then plus the gas. Anyway, where was I going with that? I don't know. I lost my train of thought. I like my car, but I bought new because I don't know, like I don't know about cars, right? Like I can't fix it myself. And I am planning on driving it until the wheels fall off, even though I really want a Tesla. I don't need one. My car runs fine. Oh, Crystal, you got a really good job and you start tomorrow. That is amazing. I'm happy and excited for you. Fear. So for taxes, I probably should have saved 10% of everything off unemployment. That's what I did. I want to be ready. Yeah, that's a good plan, and I'm glad you were able to do that. Joseph, Debbie says, movie report. What's hot, what's not? Attendance report. Do I need a mask, vaccines, certification, etc.? Tell us. Okay, I will tell you because there's not a whole lot of other questions. I'll get to your unemployment and your housing is key questions in a second. But sure, I work at a movie theater, so let's hype it up a little bit. French Dispatch, the Wes Anderson movie, is still number one. He's like a quirky independent director. Then this week, the one that looks interesting to me, but it hasn't been as busy as we hoped, and that may be that a lot of people are out doing Halloween parties, is something called Last Night in Soho. It has a very 20s vibe to it. It looks a little bit like horror slash thriller. I'm not a big horror fan, but it looks enough like thrillery that it's got my interest. And then No Time to Die, the James Bond movie, is still doing well, and Dune. Now you guys know that I'm going to tell you that you can watch Dune on HBO Max for free if you have AT&T as your cell phone service provider. You get HBO Max for free. But I actually, and I'll tell you guys, right? I'm not going to lie to you. Like, a lot of movies you probably could wait to watch it at home. Dune isn't one of them. Think of Dune as, like, a big, like, Marvel movie with, like, a lot of effects. It's not a Marvel movie, but, like, it's cinematic, right? You wanna see it on the biggest screen possible. You do. So, Dune is still doing well. I haven't seen any of these movies because between, um trying to do YouTube. I need to get you guys a regular video out soon and, just working long days. I haven't seen anything. You do need a mask when you're in the movie. You're allowed to pull it down while you take a bite of popcorn or a sip of your beverage, and then you're supposed to put it back up. It is a little dark in movie theaters. People are a little bit on the honor system with that. We do theater checks. Um, we're trying we definitely keep it colder in there, so bring to, like, make the air push through more often, so make sure to bring, like, an extra sweater with you when you go to the movie theater, and what else? Vaccines checks in Los Angeles City start the week of November 8th. Okay, on to something else. Queen Smart. What did I say about the unemployment tax checks? What happens? I haven't received anything, but, um, was cut a lot. So, with unemployment tax refunds, nobody asked about that yet. They were asking if we're gonna owe this year, and we are, most likely. There's not anything in the stimulus bill that's planning on forgiving unemployment money on our 2021 taxes, which we'll file in 2022. Um, a lot of people are a little bit confused about the unemployment tax refund. If you filed your taxes after approximately March 15th, and that's an estimation, basically you could file and submit your taxes early. And people that did it between, I want to say February 18th was the first day that you could submit your 2020 taxes, and March 15th, so less than a month. If you were somebody that just filed your taxes really, really early this year, then you would have been expecting a refund from your unemployment benefits because they decided to forgive the first $10,200 that we received in unemployment money. So we didn't need to pay federal taxes on that. In the state of California, we never pay state taxes on it, but we do pay federal taxes on unemployment benefits. But if you filed your taxes after March 15th, most likely they already figured that into your tax refund, because most of the tax software like H&R Block or TurboTax or Liberty or whoever you use online to do your taxes, after about March 15th, all that computer programming was in place to include it with your original refund. Okay. Erlyn, are we on the fourth stimulus? Yes and no. We have received 3 federal stimulus checks, and the fourth stimulus check is if your state is going to issue you one. California is issuing one in the form of the Golden State Stimulus or the Golden State Stimulus 2. You don't get both. So if your state is somebody that's going to issue their own stimulus check, and again, California is, but it's nothing extra. It's nothing really coming out of this stimulus package. We already knew that we were doing that. We've been doing that since the Golden State Stimulus 1 came out a long time ago. And there isn't talk of anything in addition to that. Fear says used car info, you can find maintenance records like Carfax. That's your help for used car shoppers. That's a good tip as well. Yeah, if you have the maintenance records, that is amazing. But what if somebody like fixed their car themselves? And like the car that my friend bought, I think they must have bought it at auction and then like drove it here to California. It looked like it had almost like ocean water damage, like rust on the engine. I don't know. I don't know, which is why I get nervous about buying a used car. Good morning, Sugar Sprinkles. Hi, Andy. You got your 600 from the Golden State. That's great. Brian, I like my little junker of a car, and there's no car payment. Yeah, 2005 Toyota Yaris. Hey, still runs well at 200K. That's awesome. Yeah, and that is an affordable car. And my car before this one was a Mitsubishi Mirage, two-door. So also, I think the most affordable Mitsubishi on the market. And it was amazing. So yeah, Myra, the only fourth stimulus is really this Golden State stimulus that most of us should have received by now, unless it's coming in mail. KAFLA TV. That is who was so helpful to Catherine. Good morning. I saw your fundraiser. How did that go? That looks fun. Let me know if you ever need us to donate movie theater tickets to any of your fundraisers. Siegel says, I do not think we'll get a fourth stimulus check because the economy is way different than it was before. Jobs are coming back and people are out there living life again. So maybe not. Yeah, that's all a factor as well. The numbers that our government are looking at. Oh, by the way, someone asked me about California's insured unemployment rate, which is the rate to determine if things like Fed Ed are available. People get Fed Ed and federal uninsurance benefits confused. Fed Ed is actually, or other states that aren't California, they call it extended benefits. Those are always available when the state's unemployment rate is high enough. And by high enough, we mean over 6%. The number that California advertises, all big and flashy, is 7.5%. So a lot of people are like, wait, why don't we get um, I got distracted. Thank you, KAFLA, for the donation. No need to donate though. Seriously, give it back to the community since you work for a nonprofit. Donate that back to your group. But I really appreciate it. Anyway, so when California advertises the true unemployment rate as 7.5%, people are like, why aren't we getting extended benefits? Shouldn't those automatically kick on? Because that's not a program that's specific to the pandemic. That is a federal program, but it kicks on for each state when our unemployment rates get too high, kind of as a safety net for when we're having periods of high unemployment. But our IUR, which is the rate we use to actually decide if that's going to be, and the insured unemployment rate, oh shoot, where'd that just go? Is 3.68. So 3.68 is not high enough to qualify for any Fed Ed extended benefits. And I know that that gets really confusing. The insured unemployment rate does not count everyone. PEUC is not back. So nothing is coming back. And the numbers that they're using are looking good. Right, exactly, Francis. They're not counting everything in the insured unemployment rate, the IUR. So they're only counting people with traditional unemployment claims. Okay, let's see here. I got to scroll back up just a tiny bit. I'm not very far behind this morning. Okay. Mercedes says basically we better have checked that 10% box and save 10% of the $300 boost. I did that and a little more, in fact. That is good news. You guys also, if you have set money aside for taxes, I really, really do like Yada Savings Bank. Why not grow your money? And it's not a lot. It's maybe $1 a week. So maybe you're going to get like $4 a month in prizes. But some people like win really big prizes from Yada Bank. Anyway, it's going to be a higher interest rate than any traditional bank out there. And I always have that link in the description. I really do like them. So if you have set money aside for taxes or you're just saving money, you are able to save money, put it in the savings account that's going to get you the most money back, right? Like don't settle for a penny a month like I did for years and years and years. Another good bank that I don't have a referral link for is Ally Bank. They have a pretty high savings rate in comparison to other banks. I just want you guys to get like something back for your money. And for me, that's Yada Bank. So that's why I'm always like Yada Bank. Okay, anyway. But either way, whether you use that or not, I'm glad that you were able to save and set some behind for taxes. Vanjie, how are the views on my channel gone down because we were past the age of unemployment? That was such a hot topic if one channel was about that and now it's gone. So Vanjie, I also haven't posted a regular video in a long time. Regular videos take planning, right? And you got to sit down and put your makeup on. You guys get me a little more casually on these chats. Like I got all these like weird flyaways. I try not to do that when I'm really filming a video. and you have to I don't know, you don't have to, but if I say something wrong, I'll edit it out. And the editing takes time, and then picking a really good like YouTube, I love it, but it takes a lot of time, like way more than I thought when I first started. So I haven't been posting as much. So I'm not sure I have a good gauge, right? Um but I would love to make YouTube work. Let me be upfront with that. I would love to make this a full-time job, but it was never about the money. It was about getting the information really first and foremost to my employees who, when our corporate office was closed, they needed the information. And then secondarily to all of you guys that now I feel, I know your stories. And thank you for sticking with me. But yeah, views are down, but I haven't really been putting out much content. I have a lot of things filmed. Um, and I might be self-sabotaging as well. I've wondered that. I'm like, was I scared that the channel wasn't good enough, that I wasn't going to make it after unemployment? Um, and I don't know the answer to that. But yeah, they're down. But I really want to talk about finance, things like improving your credit score and giving you guys like a house tour, sharing how my mom lives off of a limited fixed income, which has been my inspiration to like fix my finances. So I still want to make videos, but finding the time has gotten a little iffy. And because of that, the channel um it hasn't made tons and tons, but that's okay, and views are definitely down, which is a good thing because I'm glad that you guys are going back to work, right? Okay. Debbie, the EDD finally got through on the phone at 8 a.m. with approximate 20-minute hold. Got a seasoned tier 2 rep, says all mailed and faxed apps are in a big pile, pending turn down notices, new rules. What does that mean? Turn down notices and new rules, and they're just sitting in a pile. Is there another way to get that in? Are they able to help you file over the phone? That sounds terrible, but I'm glad you got through. Um, okay. Not counting, oops, Debbie Hall, not counting any quarters you collected during even backdated. She said try in 2022. Is that because you haven't done any work since you first filed your original claim? So if you first filed your original unemployment claim and you haven't done any work, that's why they would be getting denied. Try in 2022? That makes no sense. Oh Toby says my back date is in validating process. It's already 2 months. When am I going to receive my payments? So they're really far behind on phone determination interviews. It's up to 6 months now. Backdating was supposed to be backlogged 2 months, but that's probably delayed as well. I would okay, in your case, it's worth calling the EDD and saying, "Hey, I requested backdating. It's still validating. Is there any way that you can push those payments through? I'm experiencing financial hardship." You want to say, "I'm experiencing financial hardship," because sometimes that unlocks more tools for the reps to release some payments to you. So try that. And in your case, definitely try reaching out to your assembly member and say, "Hey, I requested backdating 2 months ago. I haven't heard anything. I am experiencing financial hardship. Is there anything that you can do to help push those payments through faster?" Okay. Um, Tier 2 says this is the new mandate. Your 4 quarters must be free and clear of any EDD collections. That doesn't sound right to me. What they mean, what it should say is to have 2 back-to-back claims, you needed to have some attachment to the workforce. Debbie, we've had the reps say incorrect things in the past, and that's what this sounds like to me, even though you said she's a seasoned or they were a seasoned tier 2 representative. That's not accurate based on what they put in writing. Um, you can have unemployment payments, but to get a back-to-back claim, you need to have done some work since filing your original claim. Maybe that's what she meant. Um, Ricardo, I have prize pool and Yada. What's prize pool? Are you just in a prize pool in Yada? Anyway, sugar sprinkles. Um, While you're scheduled for an interview on the phone, contact your assembly member or call the EDD. Exactly. Sarah, what do you think about unemployment extension and does 300 PAU on the way when all the fourth package will end up? No, nobody's talking about extending unemployment benefits, unfortunately. And the reason why is those IURs, the insured unemployment rate that they're looking at when they're looking at these federal numbers, the unemployment rate is below 5% nationally, and the spending reports are up. So, in our government's eyes, America's doing A-okay, and we don't need any more help. So it's not really even on their radar to extend unemployment benefits. SoCal 77, I just filled out my claim for the week. They haven't paid me yet. It says they need verification, and it's so frustrating. I know, I know. Make sure to send them whatever they need. Oh, guys, I have to change it off top chat and put it to all chat. Why do I do that? One day I'm gonna remember. I even had to like everything set up on time today. Okay. Yeah, that lady, I think she's wrong, Debbie. That doesn't sound right to me at all. Okay. Um, okay. Sandra says tomorrow I have a phone interview for 12 reissue weeks from last year. I hope that they decide in your favor. They might not tell you right on your phone interview if they've decided in your favor or not, but they should let you know within 10 business days. And I hope everything goes in your favor and you get those 12 weeks. That is a lot. Um, yeah, tell them that you need to file a new claim with an alternative base period. Yes, that's something that I don't talk about a lot, KAFLA TV, because it confuses people. But the alternative base period, instead of using the 18 months that they normally look at, it kind of you can ask them to bring it closer to like the current date basically, and then they'll look at a different base period for you, but you have to ask. Sandra, just answer their questions honestly. Let them know why they owe you those 12 weeks. The phone interviews are usually pretty easy and pretty simple from what I understand. Um, so just good luck and be honest and try not to be too nervous. It should say on the letter that you got alerting you to the phone interview kind of what the questions are about. Okay. Ben wants me to talk about improving credit. You would totally watch that. Okay. One of the things that you're going to want to do is keep your balance, try and pay your balances off full. I know that's really hard right now, but it is a good tip. Also, pay extra, pay more than your minimum payments. Um, you want to keep like the amount that you owe on credit cards as low as you possibly can in relationship to the your credit limit. Also, I'm going to recommend look at your credit cards, figure out which one has the highest interest rate and start paying that one. Like even $5 extra will make a difference on the one with the highest interest rate. So they look at credit utilization. That's a big one. They do also look at how many credit cards you've opened in the last 24 to 48 months. So for a little while, I've started credit card churning, right? My credit card score is good, but I've opened a lot of credit cards because I want the sign up bonus. So I pretty much paid for my camera using a sign up bonus on the, what is it? The Chase Sapphire Preferred, which I also was the type of person I never wanted to pay an annual fee on a credit card. I was like, that's dumb. Why would I do that? On the Chase Sapphire Preferred, you get like this is so dumb, but I ate a lot of DoorDash during quarantine because I was getting food delivery, one, for safety reasons, and two, just because I was making a lot more YouTube videos and it would be like 10 o'clock at night and I'd be like, oh my God, I haven't gone grocery shopping. The credit card like makes it so that you get Dash Pass for free. So then you don't pay like the delivery fees, like the extra fees. So it actually like, even though it's $95, it saved me money. Um, but yeah, I have a lot of tips on credit cards. I should make a dedicated video to that. Okay, let's see here. Oh, Debbie, I'm sorry. Okay. Yeppy says, has anyone received their rent relief payment yet? I applied on 9/9 and I'm still waiting for disbursement. People's timelines have been really all over the place with that. I saw some people who've been paid within 16 days, whereas I've seen other people waiting more than 6 months. So, on your rent relief, do you have a caseworker? Your best bet in that situation is going to be to reach out to your caseworker and then see what they say. And then you guys, KAFLA is awesome. They actually work with an assembly member as well as for a nonprofit. And the assembly members can kind of look into that for you. So try again. They've been so helpful. Try reaching out to your assembly member and seeing if they can check on it for you as well. Yeah, Debbie, it sounds like they got something wrong on your case. Okay, 418 Douglas says, what's the latest on the GSS2 payment? So that is supposed to it was supposed to have been completed today. But today's Sunday, so maybe give it till tomorrow. Like maybe your bank just hasn't loaded it because Sunday is not a usual day for, even though it's all computerized and everything, it's just not normally a day when you see it hit, right? Like the bank information may not have pulled it yet. So give it till tomorrow. If you were expecting direct deposit and you never got the first one, and so you think you qualify for the second one, wait till tomorrow. And if it's not there, use the Golden State Stimulus 2 benefit calculator estimator that I have linked in the video description down below to see if you qualify. If you got direct deposit or like a debit card, when you use not direct deposit, advanced deposit on your tax refund or a debit card from H&R Block or TurboTax or whoever you used when you filed your taxes, then you may not be expecting direct deposit. In that case, you would be expecting a paper check. And the paper checks are going to continue to go out through January 11th of 2022. Scott, I still haven't received my stimulus and I qualified. I still haven't received it as a direct deposit. Is there another delay? Not that I have read. I'm going to go double check. Let's see. I'm going to Google it real quick. Actually, I'm not. Let me screenshot the IUR really quick before I lose that again. Okay. Golden State Stimulus 2. No, last batch. Last batch of Golden State stimulus in California on October 31st. Eligibility and who qualifies for it. So it looks like they're still planning on getting the last batch out on today. Sorry, I'm just skimming this really quick. My glasses are getting steamy. It's warm in here. Okay. Yeah, and then this is mailing time frames. And that's actually outdated. Yeah. The physical checks are supposed to have already gone out. No, sorry. The physical checks have started to already have gone out. I don't see anything about additional delays on direct deposits. That's what I meant to say. Sorry. You guys know. I'm going to use my little emoji. This is I don't ever use these. I have little custom emojis. This one is a winking face in case employers are watching that says, I can multitask because I'm not that great at multitasking. But don't tell that to any future employers in case I actually need a new job in the future. Okay. Oops, I'm scrolling back up a little bit because I lost my place. You guys know when I lose my place, it'd be a great time to like the video. Let me know are you guys going trick-or-treating or taking your kids trick-or-treating? I wish adults could go trick-or-treating. I wish we could go trick-or-treating for money since that's what a lot of us need. Okay, I'm going to take a sip of coffee too so you guys like the video, please. Cobb says, how long does it take for me to get my backdate certifications in my UI? It can take quite a while. It's going to take at least 2 months, but many users have reported that when they call the EDD and they ask them like, hey, I submitted my backdating. Is there anything that you can do to push the payment through faster? that has been successful, as well as reaching out to your assembly members, and that is completely free to reach out to your assembly members. It should also be completely free to call the EDD, but it's still really hard to get through. And so I have the claimer discount link. But of course, claimer, even with the discount link, costs $14.99. And then that still relies on you getting a good rep that can help you with your claim, which is a bit of a gamble. And the assembly members have just been really great through all this. So, and they're totally free and don't require any phone calls. Jay says, happy Halloween and happy Halloween to everyone. Thank you. Yep. Thank you, Sugar Sprinkles. And Debbie Hall says, did ask for an alternate base period. Says quota data for July, August, September is not all in the system yet. That's so annoying. Debbie, I'm so sorry. So, it might be once November rolls around. So it might not be like next year when they told you 2022. Like maybe if you call back in a few days. I know you've been trying really hard to call and get through. Randeep, I haven't seen you in here in a little while. My unemployment has run out, but I am approved 2022. What is next? Phone call EDD. So a lot of times, even if you got an award letter that gave a benefit amount, if you haven't done any work since filing the original claim, you didn't truly qualify for a new claim. Also, it says it ran out, but you're approved through 2022. So if you're looking on your UI Online homepage and your claim balance hit 0, but your benefit year is not over until, let's say, January 2022, March of 2022, there's unfortunately not a path for you to get any more unemployment benefits. Generally, unemployment benefits, even though you have a benefit year, they don't intend for the unemployment benefits to last an entire year. They only intend for them to last up to 26 weeks, which is about half a year. So really, unemployment, they don't want you to be unemployed for a whole year. They're hoping that you go back to work in normal times. They're hoping, hey, you got let go of your job or your hours were reduced through no fault of your own, and you just need like a little help in like the couple of weeks while you're looking for a new job. But maybe you find so then you get like unemployment benefits for like, I don't know, 4 weeks, 8 weeks, 12 weeks, while you're looking for a new job. And then you find that new job and you go to that new job, and this is all happening in the same year. And maybe that job says, oh my God, I hired too many people. I can't afford to pay you. I have to lay you off. And they lay you off. And then you say, oh, okay. And you go back on unemployment. But it's not, so unemployment is generally just to help you get through until you find your new job. But unemployment, the way it's set up, they're not wanting to give you help for an entire year. They're hoping that you go back to work really as quickly as possible. And then you would have some left over if something happened with the new job as well. It's not generally designed in typical times to even last as long as it did. Even though you have a benefit year, it's up to 26 weeks. And something that, Bad Grandpa, I haven't seen you in here, so I hope you're driving safely. I know you're driving in winter conditions. Bad Grandpa, he pops in the chats a lot, and he did point out that let's say your weekly benefit amount is $100 and you were making $125, then your benefits would be reduced and they would last. So if you're also working while receiving unemployment, then the claim balance could stretch out through a whole year. But in general, they're not designed to last a whole year, even though you have a benefit year. So it sounds like your claim balance is up, but your benefit year is not over. And there's no path forward to more unemployment benefits until your benefit year is over. Okay, I'm sorry. ED says, so has unemployment PUA been extended? I applied for a new claim and never got an EDD customer account number, nor did I receive a determination letter. What reason could it be for not be receiving anything? They're really backed up for one, and it always takes about like 3 weeks for the new claim process to totally take place. Um, and Debbie Hall says that they're just sitting in a big pile and that the EDD hasn't had a chance to go through them. So this might be a case where you either want to call the EDD or email your assembly member and say, hey, I filed a new application, but I haven't heard anything. I am experiencing financial hardship. I believe I qualify. Can you look into why I haven't received anything in regards to this? Sandra, you're welcome. Karina, we do taxes through H&R Block. So if we're getting a paper check, we get them through direct deposit. So not everyone who uses H&R Block would get a paper check. So for example, who did I use this year? I used TurboTax. It's only people, there's like a question at the very end, right? It says like, would you like your tax refund instantly, or would you like it on a prepaid debit card? And basically what happens if you say yes is you don't have to wait to get your refund direct deposited from the IRS. H&R Block will send you out something immediately so you don't have to wait. So if you used like H&R Blocks or TurboTax's service that gives you like an instant tax refund, either in the way of them giving funds to you from H&R Block or from TurboTax, or a prepaid debit card from H&R Block or TurboTax or any of the big tax preparers, if you got it that way, if that's how you got your tax refund, and then basically, anyway, then you'd be getting a paper check because H&R Block paid you, and then the tax people paid H&R Block your money because H&R Block like advanced you your money and gave it to you instantly. And then your tax refund went to them instead. And this was a big thing with a lot of the stimulus checks, how it got so messed up. That would be the only way that you'd be expecting a paper check in that case. Okay, I hope that made sense. Hi, spell legacy like death. Sorry. I lost my place. Okay. Tanya, you need help. You say ask them a closer alternative payment. No, it's an alternative base period. So really, guys, don't get too hung up on this CKAFLA. That's why I don't normally talk about this, because normally it's more confusing. I don't want to confuse people. The easier way to think about this, and Debbie's answer is yes, which is then why we started talking about the alternative base period. The question first that you need to ask yourself when filing a new unemployment claim is, have you done any work for W-2 employer? That's going to have a little side note to it as well that I don't normally talk about, but I will. You need to have wages from a W-2 employer since you first filed your new claim, and you need to have done some work. The some work does not actually need to be from a W-2 employer. So you need both to meet an earnings requirement and a some work requirement. The easiest way for me to explain to most of my viewers, it doesn't apply to everybody, is if you have not done any work since you filed your original unemployment claim, you're not going to qualify for a new one. That's the easiest way to explain it. However, normally in these, okay, so let's go into the other scenarios. Let's say that you met the earnings requirement, which is 1,300 in your highest earnings quarter. And in my head, I was like, well, if you have earnings, then why wouldn't you also have attachment to the workforce? But I only had to look at my own case to figure that out. I got furloughed on March 15th of 2020, but I still received a paycheck from my employer on March 20th of 2020. So that satisfied the earnings requirements. I hadn't done any work since March 15th, but because of the way like your paychecks lag, I had a paycheck from a W-2 employer 5 days later within my benefit year, on March 20th. So my benefit year started March 15th. I received a paycheck 5 days later on March 20th of 2020. So I have the earnings requirements in my benefit year. But if you don't work at all, you also need some attachment to the workforce. Now, that some attachment to the workforce actually can be from self-employment, but you need to have met the earnings requirements from a W-2 employer. But the attachment to the workforce can be from self-employment, which I normally don't even scratch on that surface because it gets really confusing for people. Um, now the alternate base period. So let's say that you do have attachment to the workforce, but this is October, September, and August. Let's say your attachment to the workforce is in one of these last 3 months. Let's say during these last 3 months is when your attachment to the workforce is. So when you file a new claim with the EDD, those months basically aren't showing up yet. They don't have access to that. So if if you have done some work, but it's in October, September, or August of 2021 and not any further back than that, that's when you would ask the EDD to use an alternate base period to calculate your eligibility. Because normally, let me try and find this. I gotta find the little chart. Base period EDD. Now I gotta take my glasses up. Stinky chart. That's not very big. Okay, so normally, this is not gonna get big enough for you guys, so I'm just gonna look at it. So normally for them to count, if you file in October, the most recent month they're gonna look at is June of 2021. So it's October right now. And this is true for November. If you file in October, November, or December of 2021, the most recent wages that the EDD will automatically look at when considering your new claim is going to be through June of 2021. So it's not looking at July, August, September, or October of 2021 yet, unless you can ask them to use an alternate base period, but you have to request that. It can only be filed when there are not enough wages earned in the standard base period to file a valid claim and you meet all other eligibility requirements. So to use the alternate base period, if you apply in October, November, or December, then it would count wages from July, August, and September of 2021 if you ask them to use the alternate base period. Clear as mud, right? And that's why I don't talk about the alternate base period very often. And that's why I focus on the have you done some work since filing your original unemployment claim, because I feel like that's the clearest answer. Ooh, okay. Sorry. Tanya, you just got approved for unemployment benefits, but I work. Is that fraud? No. If you got approved for unemployment benefits, as long as you're truthful, right? It shouldn't. When you go to certify for benefits, it's going to ask you how much you earned from your employer. And that's where you're going to need to report that honestly. Otherwise, that could be fraud. And I don't ever want to encourage anybody to be dishonest with the EDD. So just when you get to that portion that says, did you work or earn any wages? You're going to need to say yes, and then you'll need to report how much. And it'll tell you if you made too much to qualify for benefits that week. Sugar sprinkles. Yeah. Is saying the same thing, to just be honest when you certify for benefits. Michael says, my claim benefit year is 11/15 to 11/14/2021. I got a message in my inbox telling me I needed to file a new claim. That benefit year ended on 7/5/2021. This was after she submitted my retroactive claim in August. Shoot. Okay. Well, let's get into that. So that's caused by backdating. Let's going to take a big sip of coffee for this. So you guys like the video. This is important to anybody who requested backdating on their California EDD unemployment claim. That changed your period, your base period. When you request backdating, basically if your claim started 11/15 of 2020 and ended 11/14 of 2021, then but now you requested backdating, you said, "Hey, please pay me from." She submitted your retroactive claim in August, so you probably asked to be backdated to July 3rd of 2020. That's probably when the new benefit year started. So, no, I said that wrong. If it ended on July 5th, it started on like July 8th of 2020. It's normally like a 3-day difference. So but anyway, it started somewhere in July of 2020. So and you asked her to backdate it. You requested backdating in August, which they approved. So that changes your benefit year. So since you you said, "Hey, I didn't file when I should have. I didn't realize I was eligible for benefits." And then they said, "Okay," and they approved that and they changed your benefit year so that you could get the backdating. That's what happens. It changes your benefit year. So you were approved to get those benefits starting in July, but that means that you had a new benefit year end date as well. So now you're most likely going to need to file a new claim because you have to file a new claim when your benefit year ended. And since you're filing the new claim now, you're probably going to have to ask for backdating on it as well. And two things are going to happen. One, if you haven't worked, then you're not going to be approved for the new claim, but that's kind of okay. What's going to happen is when you're not approved for the new claim, that's what allows you to stay on the extensions. Okay. So they should put you, in your case, you will go back to those PEUC extensions, but this is going to get very like muddy, right? And I don't promise it's going to happen easily, but that's when they should keep you on the extension through at least September 4th, but possibly September 11th. Good luck with all that. I'm sorry that your claim got messy, but yeah, backdating changes the start date, so it changes the end date. And once your benefit year ends, you have to file a new claim. So they're correct in telling you that. Debbie Hall, you'll try in a month or so. Okay. All right, hold on. I lost my place. You're going to try in a month and you're going to use electronic and it's easily trackable. You personally hate the EDD. A lot of us personally hate the EDD. Like if you want to find yourself some friends that also hate the EDD, you have wound up in the right place, my friend. Tanya, you haven't gotten anything about certifying. Is it a letter in the mail? Generally, initially, it is a letter in the mail. When did you first file for unemployment benefits? Because it's going to take about 21 days before you get communication from them about certifying and all that. So if you just really recently filed, you may not have received that communication yet. Suho, I like that name. That's pretty. October has been a horrible month and you can't wait till it's over and start fresh. Suho, I'm going to be honest, that I was talking a little bit about that earlier in this video and now I feel like crying. I haven't had a great month either. I've just felt really overwhelmed and overworked. I think a lot of people have, and that's why there's so many people doing the great resignation. But I almost feel like, did I get afraid that my channel wasn't going to make it? Did I self-sabotage? So yeah, me too. Let's go November. Better month, better month. And it's not too late. I love Halloween. So let's just start our new better month today. Let's just have a great Halloween. But yeah, I feel you. You guys don't see the whole picture, right? With anybody on social media, we come on and we're like, "Oh, we feel great." And there's a lot going on like behind what you see. So it is okay if you're not having a good month. Um, and I'm here for you guys. I'm not a professional in any way, but if you need to vent or you need to let me know or you need to let somebody know, you need to get something off your chest, be safe. I wish everybody well, but let them vent about it. Go ahead. Feel like you have somebody to talk to because you do. All right. Tanya said, how is fraud as well as this is my first time applying? I'm so confused and I'm feeling overwhelmed. It shouldn't be fraud. No, it shouldn't be fraud. You just report how much, if they approved you for a claim, you just tell them how much you made when you certified, but you haven't been asked to certify yet. So it's going to be okay. Karina, no, we didn't use that prepaid card. It was just direct deposit. Thanks for clarifying. You're welcome. Suho says, did a tax return transfer from H&R? So I guess I'll be waiting for a check. Yeah, that sounds like it would be a check. I'm not sure what the tax return transfer is, but that sounds kind of like an instant deposit maybe. So for the Golden State Stimulus 2, it does sound like maybe you'd be getting a check. Michael, your claim exhausted in May 22 of 2021. And a Tier 2 rep submitted extensions claim retroactive to 9/4. Benefit year ends 11/14/2021. Still no certification button as of yet. No money since May 22nd of 2021. Email your assembly member on that. They are going to be your best bet for sorting that out. And I have that link always in the description of my videos, but today I woke up early enough to pin it as the top comment in the chat as well. John, is there supposed to be a GSS direct deposit today? Potentially, if you didn't get the first one. They did say October 31st, but just because today is Sunday, let's give it till at least tomorrow to look into that. Sandra, you did work in January, and last year you did work. Okay, so yeah. Yeah, they should be letting you file a new claim at least. Oh my god, I love the little emojis. Debbie coming through with the Halloween. I like the dragon. That shows up good online. But I like spiders, and bats are my favorite animal. To go to a $7 movie, you need a mask, a vaccination card, a picture ID, a booster card, and what else to eat a few kernels of popcorn. Hello, LA County. It's not LA County, it's just LA City, which that's going to confuse people as well. In Seattle, they're requiring the vaccination cards. And no, you don't have to drag your vaccination card around with you. I don't recommend that. Guys, most businesses that require vaccination cards for proof of entry, they will accept a picture of it, or there's like these apps. I think this is back to the county. I think there's something called Healthvana, and then there's something else. So like the app, it doesn't need to show your first dose and your second dose or whatever. Although I don't think it's fully vaccinated. We'll also take a negative COVID test. Guys, I bought an at-home COVID test. Like, do you guys want to see what that looks like? It's so weird. Like, not a completed one, but they give you two. Let me know if you guys want to see that. I'll go grab it. It's kind of weird. It's it's almost like a pregnancy test. Like, it has like these lines on it. Like, it's super weird. But like, we'll also accept a negative COVID test. But like, what are people gonna bring? Please don't bring me like your nasty nose swab. But they haven't told us what we're supposed to look for. Also, please don't bring me like the card with the lines that just had the nasty nose swab in it. Like, I don't want to see that. So hopefully a picture of it, and then like these at-home COVID tests, I don't even know if those are acceptable. And then, like, if we are supposed to verify that it's your negative COVID test, like, there's not names on an at-home kit. I don't know. Logistically, no one has explained. There's like some explanations, but there's like not a lot of explanations for on the business. I don't want to get my channel flagged for like spreading like untrue things, but like, just like, hey, how about a little bit of guidance and a little bit of support, and maybe like not 2 days before the business is supposed to implement it. I want to keep people safe when they come to the movies. I do. But like, tell us how. Give us some help. Like, this is supposed to come out of our payroll when businesses are struggling. Okay. Done with that. Debbie, it's a mess. Okay. Tanya says, right, October something else. I've been dealing with so much. Yeah, guys, you're not alone. And you know what? I don't wish anybody having a bad time, but it's making me feel better knowing that you guys have gone through stuff. Okay, I'm gonna go get that weird. All right, hold on. All right, hold on. I'll be right back. Stare at the wall. Here, we'll put Baby Yoda. He's gonna babysit. He'll watch. No, he won't. He won't. He doesn't fit. But anyway, okay, I'll be right back. I'm gonna grab that thing. I'm gonna still talk. Don't leave, guys. I'm gonna show you what the at-home COVID test looks like. An untaken one, because I'm not gonna show you where it's not. Hold on. So you can buy these. Can you guys still hear me? You can buy these at CVS. It's 2 kits for $28. Okay. I've got the goods. Let me see if there's any unemployment questions real quick because we are at the end of the hour. Thank you. Common sense. Okay. Diana says, I'm still concerned about paying everything I was paid for and now disqualified. I have not gotten an overpayment notice since the last payment for September 4th. I do have the thing. I'm going to show you guys in just a second. So stay on if you want to see that, what the at-home COVID test looks like. But I'm going to do a couple more unemployment questions before I get to that. Try not to worry too much about the overpayment notices, because even if you get one, you're going to be able to request a waiver. And most likely the overpayment waiver is going to be approved, because if you received the overpayment and it was no fault of your own and it would create financial hardship, they're not supposed to make you repay it. And Diana, love you. Preaching lots of love on the channel today. And a lesson that I need to learn myself, so I'm not perfect at this, but reminding you guys helps me remember as well. It doesn't do us any good to worry about things that have not happened yet and things that we don't have control over. So wait to see what happens and then worry about it. But you're not going to like what I say next, because I see that you're asking if you haven't received it yet, can you still receive it? Yes. There are actually, I just want you to be prepared, right? I don't want you to worry about it, but just somewhere in the back, like way in the back of your mind, but where you're not going to worry about it. People that needed to get unemployment benefits during this last year and a half, they actually received overpayment notices from like 2017 and 2020, and then had to sort all that out with the EDD. So yes, it can come many years in the future, but hopefully it won't. Okay, Dawn, how long does it take to get approved or denied after a phone interview? They're supposed to let you know within 10 business days. Yada, yada. I didn't qualify for a new claim because I didn't work and earn wages, but I still have balance and it says I can still certify and it won't let me. What can I do? Okay. So unfortunately, that claim balance is like a big tease. And if you're not able to certify, it sounds, if you didn't qualify for a new claim, all of the programs except for traditional unemployment benefits expired on 9/4. Okay, I'm going to take a drink of coffee, then I'm going to show you guys the test, and then I'll get back to a couple more unemployment questions before I head out for the day. Okay. So this brand was called Binance Now. Binax. Doesn't that sound like Binance? That Binance is like a finance app. Okay. So first of all, I mean, like with any medical thing, right? Like these are the freaking instructions. It's a lot. Okay. And then it's got the nose swab thing, right? And like I read these real careful. So here's your little pack. Oh, I can't show you this without opening it. So we're going to have to look at the instructions. Dang it. It's almost worth opening it just so that you guys can see. So in here is a little book. In here is this weird little solution. And in here is the Q-tip, right? The Q-tip doesn't have to go all the way up. It just needs to go like there. So that doesn't like poke your brains or anything like that. But so here's why I think it's like a pregnancy test. You have to wait 15 minutes and then, this is so weird. And I had to read it like twice. Where is this little thing? There's another big booklet, guys. Let's open that one as well. Oh yeah, this is the good one, maybe. Oh no, this is in Spanish. Might be good for some of you. That's not that, guys. I need to learn Spanish better as well. More instructions. So 3 sets of instructions. Okay, so here, where is this? You aren't going to be able to see this, but it's like one blue line means COVID. Okay, I should at least tell you what it actually is. Okay, so there's the control lines, right? So you get, first there's a blue line, right, to make sure it works. Then a pink control line comes up, and then all of these, so if there's a second pink line, it means you have it. And see, that one's dark. It gets lighter. It gets lighter. Those two you can barely see, but that still is a positive result. So it's a second light pink line if you've got it, right? It's really weird. And it's this card. That's kind of what the card looks like when you open it. I don't want to open it in case I have to take one of these again for work. It's super weird. It's $28 and you get 2 tests, by the way. I thought it was like more open. I thought you guys could see the card because that's what's the interesting part. But yeah, it's like 2 pink lines and it's positive. Weird, right? Anyway, $28 approximately from CVS, not covered by insurance as far as I know. I thought that would be more exciting. I should have just opened it, but anyway, Ruffy Tuffy. My original claim was from June 2020 through June 2021, but during that time I went back to work and later became unemployed during November of 2020, but did not reapply until March 2021. And in June 2021, can you still get back pay? Possibly. Use the request backdate feature. Actually, hold on, but did not reapply. Yeah. Yeah. So you can request backdating up to 15 months, like in a 15-month time window. And it sounds like you're in that. I should have opened that. I should just open it, but it's weird. So anyway, that's what the kit comes with. And there's 2 holes. So the solution you put in the first hole, and then you stick your snotty stick in the second hole, and you wait to see if there's lines. And you're supposed to keep it like really flat. Don't touch the test strip. And there were a lot of instructions. Tanya says, I only work Saturdays and Sundays, and I'm a full-time student. What would happen if I quit my new job right now while I no longer get EDD? Possibly, because to get EDD, you're supposed to get let go through no fault of your own. Markel, what's up with the pending payments? So they're backlogged further than they should be on releasing those. It sometimes is worth calling the EDD and saying, hey, is there any possibility to push those pending payments through any faster? And then oftentimes they can, and also your assembly member. Okay. You're welcome, Diana. Do you have to pay back unemployment? No, not normally. No. And when I say not normally, I mean it's really rare. If you were dishonest and didn't report your earnings, then you might be asked to repay it. Okay. Markel, yeah, you're going to want to call or use Ask EDD. Vinny Shelby, California Stimulus, $1,100. Okay. If you got $1,100 through the Golden State Stimulus 2, that would mean that you got a $600 payment for yourself or you and your spouse, one $600 payment for the both of you, and then one $500 payment for any dependents. Okay. So no, Tanya, you shouldn't have to pay back unemployment. Diana, you're welcome. Thank you, Debbie. As manager, will I be at the front door of the movies checking all this while selling candy? And what else? May we have this job? We're hiring. Probably most movie theaters, especially. I bet a lot of businesses in the city of Los Angeles are going to be hiring because of needing to do vaccination checks before entering the business. I think it's gyms. I didn't say that right because gym, JIMJYMJGEM. It's the same Jen that you guys call me out for not being able to pronounce Jenny Silver's name right. But gyms, like where you work out, not like diamonds, are going to be requiring proof of vaccination. So businesses in the city of Los Angeles are going to need to check that. And Debbie, this is a very fluid plan. When you enter our building, there's actually a floor that's on the mall, and we're hoping that malls help us because I think you're supposed to get proof from the mall. But I think we're planning on kind of like setting up check-in tables and doing a check-in down there. But I'm worried because most movies start around the same point. It might be like wherever the first employee you come in contact with might be the one that checks your vaccination status. And then we're going to do wristbands. We might have to change color every day. I don't know. It's real weird. Francis, you're waiting on a phone interview. Well, I hope that happens, and I hope that they decide in your favor. It is a lot of paperwork. Oh, Tanya, I didn't mean to skip yours. No, you don't have to pay back unemployment. The COVID test reminds me of the iPhone unboxing. Geez, yeah, a little bit. Should I just maybe I should unbox one of these on like a TikTok or a YouTube short? I haven't seen that. I bet a lot of people are curious. And guys, I walked up there. I am not embarrassed about like medical stuff, and I will like tell you like a lot of stuff you might not even want to know. But I went into the CVS and I was all up and down like the aisle with the cough drops because I knew you could get these, right? I wasn't exactly sure how much they cost. And I wasn't like, I just figured they'd be with like the health supplies, but I could not find them for the life of me. And I have heard that they sell out really fast. So I just walked to like the front desk guy and I was like, hey, where are those at-home COVID tests? And he was like, right behind you. And they were like by the snacks. It was kind of like, why are the things you stick up your nose by the snacks? But whatever. And then like the guy next to me was like, they have those? Like it's kind of cool. Like I'm like blabbing my big mouth as I do. But yeah, $28 to test. The iPhone unboxing did not go well. My COVID test went fine. It was negative, guys, which was good. And I won't share why I had to take one. Annoying. But yeah, it's all, nobody ever wants to take one of those things because it probably means you think you may have had some contact. Anyway, Suho, you got the J&J vaccine. Now CDC wants me to take a booster by mixing. I don't even think it's safe to mix sodas, yet alone vaccines. I'm not an expert on any of that. I'm considering it, right? I'm due for a booster. I have high blood pressure. I got Pfizer. I didn't have any side effects with that, but my CVS has Moderna. And I've heard that Moderna has like, I don't know, a better protection against the variant, right? But then I heard that the Moderna booster is only like 50% of the original dose, I guess, because of how bad people reacted to it. So then is it only going to, I don't know. I'm probably just going to try and get Pfizer again. Ruffy Tuffy. How can I request my back pay? I lost my place. You guys like the video? Okay. Oops. How do I do that? Okay, there we go. How can I request my back pay from November to March of 2021? I've tried calling them. You can't get a hold of them. Is there an easier way? Yes. Email your assembly member. And I've got that pinned as the top comment and linked in the description down below. Just email your assembly member. It's hard to get through to the EDD. If you're really dead set on calling them, I do have the claimer discount link that'll save you $5 off your first call. Debbie was like, I'm not paying, but I also don't want to email. My assembly member, she got through at 8:01. You guys, if you are going to call the EDD on your own, Tuesday through Saturday are the best days, 8 a.m. to 8:15, and then again like 2:30 to 4. Don't call after 4 because by then there's going to be so many people holding for a tier 2 rep that you're not going to be able to get through. I know, Jay. I know. Did I skip your question as well? Debbie says, I guess for those with no certification and only test results, you will be called to the theater front door to examine the paper report of a patron with a $7 ticket. It's a bit much. Yeah. So can we just talk about that for a minute? I don't know if they're accepting these, right? I haven't quite seen that. Like, is this if somebody brings me, like, and you legit, guys, okay, step 1 is this is the card inside here. So you open the card, then you put 6 drops of this in the top dot, right? Some snot activator. That's what I'm calling it. I don't know what it is. So you put that in the top dot. Then you spread this in, I don't know, both nostrils, I want to say, for like 10 seconds each. It doesn't have to go like way up into your noggin though. Then you put this in here. You wait 15 minutes, right? And then you see if the pink line appears. The negative COVID test is able to be supplied within 72 hours. But then these say results are not valid after 24 hours. These aren't going to have your name on it. And I should make a TikTok and a YouTube short just opening this and like doing it so people can see. I bet people are real curious about that. And then it's not like, like when you got a test at like one of those public testing sites, they were like, please no filming, but like, this is my house. I can film what I want. Is filming medical? Is that a medical procedure? Anyway, it's not going to have your name. Like, how's that? And please don't bring me the card that you just put your snotty swab stick in. So I don't know what's going to count. It's probably one of the things that you actually have to go to a place for. We're probably not going to take something without a name on it, but I don't know for sure. Thank you. It's actually really messy and I slept with it like this. I was a scary clown yesterday. I don't know what I was doing. I tried to dress up for Halloween, but thank you, Tina. Okay. So yes, Tanya, all you need to do is wait for the letter in the mail. And once it gets returned, would they let you know how much will be given? So usually, yes, you'll get a benefit award letter in the mail after you file for unemployment benefits. And it's actually going to say that this is not a final determination, but it should be. And then it'll tell you when you can certify. It may even have a certification form that arrives with it. But honestly, it's easier to just certify for benefits online. And if you mail back the paper certification, then don't do the one online. And if you do it online, don't mail back the paper certification. Oh, shoot. Tanya, it keeps like skipping. Oh, I didn't see when you applied. But yes, you're just waiting on the paperwork now. And that should tell you your weekly benefit amount. Sue, any word if there will be another 10,200 exemption for 2021? They haven't talked. We did talk about that a little bit on this live, but they haven't really talked about that yet. Oh. Tanya, you and Ruffy Tuffy replied a couple times. Just tell me again, Tanya. If I skipped it, and I'll try and get to it now. You're welcome, Tanya. Okay, apparently I addressed it at this point. I'm glad. Yeah, oh yeah. Please let me serve you snacks after I've handled your snot card. Guys, it's supposed to be easy at the movie theater. No, I don't recommend. Okay, a couple things on quitting your job and the great resignation and all this. Don't quit your job because with EDD to get unemployment benefits, you are supposed to have been let go through no fault of your own. So I don't think quitting is a good idea in those circumstances. And Tanya, I do want to be honest with you. Sometimes you mentioned you're in school and sometimes that gets a little bit tricky. Because the EDD wants you to be able and willing to accept full-time work. So if you're also in school, it's going to be like, well, sometimes that's going to cause, after you certify, it's going to cause your unemployment claim to get stuck in pending because the EDD is like an old system. It doesn't understand the way people work, earn, and live in today's times. So it doesn't know things about like online school. It thinks that if you're going to school, you can't accept full-time work. And then it's going to cause your claim to go pending and you're going to need a phone interview and that can take up to another 6 months. But yeah, I don't recommend quitting until you have another job. I think that might be like really old-fashioned advice, but I would have something else lined up before you consider quitting. Yeah, but don't stress either. You guys, like sometimes some of this stuff you can't worry about it until it actually happens, right? Because the stress is not good for you. Suho, California FTB website says I should get the Golden State stimulus by mail based on zip code since I didn't pay for my tax prep fees up front, aka a refund tax transfer. My zip code is 91343. Okay, so then guys, I worry about you sharing your personal information. Here, let's have Baby Yoda babysit for a second. I don't know why he's out. Let me go to the franchise tax board. Oh, cancel. Hold on. I have that screenshotted. Hold on. Okay, let's look at your zip code. So your zip code is 343. Oh, so it looks like you'd get a paper check between 11/1 and 11/19. So for zip code 21, if it ends in the last 3 digits of 211 through 375, which 343 does end between those two things, between 11/1 and 11/19 is when you should be expecting your paper check. Maybe I should just wear this to work. Anyway, Debbie, why aren't these tests free since they're being semi mandated? Do a video on this. It's too complicated and vague. So I did this just for my own personal knowledge. I am fully vaccinated, but I was just curious because like I was visiting my mom who's now also fully vaccinated, but like she's still old and like you can still get it if you're fully vaccinated. It's not supposed to be as bad. I'm not a scientist. I don't know, but I wanted to know like did I have it or did I not? And part of me, guys, even if you're vaccinated, I think you still get to quarantine from work if you have a positive test. And there might have been a part of me that was like, "Oh, I don't wanna have the virus," right? And I take it seriously, but you guys know I've been like, "Oh my god, I'm overworked." And part of me wanted a positive test so that I didn't have to go to work for 10 days. Um, but yeah, I wish the tests were free, but I think the and if you go to a facility for a test, those are still free. Like, I chose to get the at-home test. Like, I didn't wanna wait. I was having trouble figuring out, like, where to book the test that would work for my schedule, and so I've gotten patient and I bought my own. Okay. Michelle says 2021 UI exemption. They're not talking about it that I have heard. Like, okay, here's another thing with these politicians. It seems like they just remember at the last minute, like, oh, yeah, we need to think about this. But they're not, I haven't heard anything about it yet. I will try very, very hard to release a video in a timely fashion if I hear anything about that. Hayden, congratulations on doing this channel for a year and a half. Plus, I'm sure people have benefited. Hayden, is that you from work? I think I can't tell. The profile picture is really little, but I think this is Hayden who used to work with us, and he was like the most beloved employee at our place of employment. Don't say where we work or where you don't work there anymore. We miss you. We all miss you. And we're like, oh my goodness, he would just love this. He was like the best employee in a lot of ways. And the customers loved him. And you would have just been amazing at everything that's going on right now. But it's really hard. And I'm proud of you that you got promoted at your new job. Yeah, let's end. Oh, yeah, it's a baby Yoda, which I think is super cute. Okay. It's Baby Yoda. He's been in some of the videos. Ah, anyway, okay, this seems like about a good time. Maybe I should just bring this somehow in a costume. I'm like, can I put this in my hair? No, he's too heavy. Anyway, this seems like a good place to end the video. I am planning on going live tomorrow at 9 p.m. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I'm gonna think about making that video. I feel like that has the potential to go viral, which is like, isn't that what every YouTuber is trying to make it once? I don't know. All right. See you tomorrow, guys. Thanks so much for watching Shelly's Millions. Let me know what questions you want me to answer tomorrow. Do you want me to look more into raising your credit scores? Yeah. All right. See you tomorrow at 9 p.m. Bye, guys. Oh, happy Halloween.